Oh my goodness! Battle Cat, you a fool for this one! Welcome to the foundation. It is yours truly, the incredible DJ Battle in the building. And it feels good to be back from the hiatus. I appreciate the love. Whew, I've been on the left coast, but it feels good to be back home. Disclaimer time, basically letting you guys know that, hey, it's just the king and I'm back. And I'm here to share some more information that took place in between the last show and the current one. But as usual, man, I don't want no drama, no BS, no legal issues, none of the above. This is entertainment purposes only. So yeah, it feels good to be back, man. After being on the left coast, much needed R&R stuff hit the fan real quick. You know what I mean? Of course, with this man right here behind us being under so much heat, especially with the Epstein files being the topic of every day, I told you guys a month ago, once that heat started turning up about them Epstein files, you was gonna see one crisis after another. Stuff is just gonna pop off all over the place, and it's unfolding just the way I thought it would. I just wanted to be out of Dodge, so I was out the country. And as soon as I land, as soon as I get there good, what's the first thing that happened? The main person who was bringing up the files. Yeah. Yeah, that guy right there. Once he started bringing up the files, what happened? I'm just flicking the TV after a bike ride, and of course, the tragedy that happened. You know, so I was like, here we go, man. And then when you start looking at the background as far as his surroundings and security and how sketchy things look. But then it turns out that this is the guy who pulled the trigger. Even though I've seen a lot of information, because I was looking and I was like, man, something just ain't shitting right. If anyone knows what a patsy is, I think this situation right here fits it all day. Everything from how they look at his background, and his father was law enforcement, and they setting it up to try to make it look too perfect, but he said some things that was questionable, that about someone may be after him if he disclosed what really happened. So like I said, if you don't know what a patsy is, this is a textbook patsy situation, right? We already know with these distractions what they're ultimately trying to get to pop off, and I talked about that as well, right? And that's the good old fashioned race war. Now these folks, once the stuff popped off, you sending guys like this to historically black universities to put their little debate tables up and basically poke the bear, and we ain't falling for it, man. We like, nah, bro, just get on out here with this. We not giving you what you're looking for. We not. And they try real hard, man. They try real hard to get us to bite the bait. Thank God they kicked them off the campus without no drama popping off. Because once again, this is what they really want. All the evidence is there. We ain't talked about this over the years, and now it's at the tipping point, right? Okay, they didn't bite for that one. Well, let's try something else. What can we try next? Well, we can go to Delta State, and we can just get one of them and string them up on a tree, right? And we're talking about is it Travion Reed? Man, I'm once again, I'm still on vacation. I'm peeping all this out. I'm like, man, look at all these events popping off. Everything to get you to do like this, right? And they just gonna target this brother once again to try to get something popping off. I mean, it just makes no sense. It's senseless. And I hope they find the bastards that did it. But being that it's taking this long, I really don't have faith in the system on tracking whoever did it. But we ultimately know what the goal is. Trying to get, once again, spark that old race war. Anything to get your mind off the files, right? That didn't do it, right? So then what else happens? Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah, this was tragic as well. We all seen the train incident. It was just bizarre. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because this popped off while I was still in the area. And we probably didn't hear anything about it Because I got family members that ride the train in Charlotte. Nobody ever said anything about this happening. And and I'm on vacation, and I'm hearing about how this person slashed the refugee from Ukraine's neck. But I was like, well, damn, when they said it happened, we was in and out the area of Charlotte, didn't hear a word about it, didn't hear people about it. And so that in itself, and then for the people to be just standing around looking, it just looked bizarre. Almost didn't look real, to be honest with you. But they said his brother had mental issues, and with all the resources that's been closed down as far as mental institutions, and which I think is a major mistake, because there are a lot of people who really need to be in there to get real help and not just dumped on family members. So yeah, it just struck me as bizarre that it went national first and then went local. That just doesn't make any sense. And now, once again, they're trying to make laws or make in her name. They're trying to make a law in her name, or I'm like, man, where was the same energy 2017? And if anybody remember this situation, this man over my shoulder right here attacked 3 sisters. One of them happened to be the one victim he happened to kill was Via Wilson. You can look that up. Oakland, 2018 in July. Where was the same energy? That was just as bizarre. He attacked 3 sisters, killed one of them, and hurt another one. So once again, that's why I find it kind of bizarre that they're trying to do everything in their power to spark off this race war. It just doesn't make any sense, And yeah, a lot of people got riled up, from this situation. Yeah, a lot of people got riled up, but not to the extent that they wanted to go to war or wanted to, shoot guns or pick each other off. But they're steady trying to get it to pop off and keep people doing just like this. As long as they ain't talking about them files, whew, the heat is off. The president's back. Then I get home, relaxing. Haven't done shows in a couple weeks, so the bloodshed continued. Up in Grand Blanc, Michigan. Look at this right here. This right here is a Mormon church. The Latter-day Saints. I'm very familiar with them from my Michigan days. Usually they have their missionaries on the bike. Usually in pairs. They go out door to door trying to spread the good gospel and good word. So I just found it interesting that a man would just drive up into a church full of people, men, women, children, and just set it on fire. Drove his truck into it, set it up on fire, got the gun out and started blazing and killing people. So once again, where's this energy coming from? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It's like almost like someone's on standby waiting on a mission. And that's exactly how it played out. Bizarre thing is the killer was a Marine, MAGA head too. And notice they didn't go in on that part though. They got real quiet when it came to that part. Like, wait a minute, this ain't supposed to be happening. But they're still trying to figure out ways to get that race war popping off, even though, these are white on white crimes. I mean, it's plain as day. These are America's finest soldiers. What happened? Once again, the resources need to be poured into the mental health. And we know how veterans get treated. They praise them when they're in there and they do a mission. They praise them the minute they out, and they can't really get acclimated back to civilian life because of what they've done and seen in the military. They need some serious mental help, and they just get thrown to the wayside, just ignored. And eventually something like this happens. They snap, go shoot up a church. And I'm wondering if there's some. Usually when I see stuff like this, when a person goes to a church and shoot it up like that, my first thing I think about is like, why would a person like this go shoot up a church? One goes to shoot up a place of worship. Like, what's the connection? Did they used to go there? Did they feel like they were violated and it just was hanging over their head for many years, and they finally got a chance to, exact revenge. I mean, this is a place of worship. Kids, you kill kids and elders and people in the community. It's terrible. And it didn't stop there. Down in my neck of the woods, this right here was like bizarre. Once again, another Marine vet, a very well accomplished one at that. This right here was just bizarre because they went to like a restaurant slash bar, nice establishment out there in Southport, known for entertaining folks and feeding good food. I think it's called the Fish Market or something like that. It was called the Fish what? Excuse me. But anyway, this restaurant, which was like a, a staple and a good place to eat good food, be entertained, and a lot of good people go there to enjoy great times and memories there. This was just a nightmare scenario where in a boat, basically doing a drive-by in the boat because it's off the coast, and he shot many people. 3 people died. I think another 5 was injured. I mean, just didn't make a mess. Just made a mess, man. And this was a situation again where, is probably another mental health situation. But why shoot innocent people? Why do anything like this unless it was orchestrated? But orchestrated by who? I don't know. People, yeah, they'll be distracted for a minute, but then at the end of the day, oh yeah, the files. We still want to know what's going on with them files. It's not gonna happen. At least not right. No time in the near future. It'll probably come out once the president transitioned. Then it'll miraculously come out. But he'll be gone by then. So that's how I think it'll play out. I don't think it'll come out while he's still here on this earth. So it's something for you guys to think about. And you got to really be careful going out because you're starting to see more shootings at places of worship, restaurants, bars, and it's not a setting where you would expect it to be. They always expect it to be at some gang related area or inner city. No, this is popping off in rural areas, beach towns, churches. I mean, it's like it's being orchestrated. That's the only way I can see it because I called it out last month. I told you how this was going to unfold once that heat got on about those files. But yeah, man, that's where we at with that. You just got to keep your head on the swivel and bring your activities home. If you want to go have a beverage, have your beverage home. If you want to eat some good food, learn how to cook or have somebody come over and cook. Make your stuff private. Protect yourself. That's the best thing I can tell you. We have another distraction that's brewing on our hands. They're actually trying to come up with an executive order to allow teachers to bring back spanking or corporal punishment or, be able to physically discipline your child at school. I don't know how that's going to play out. School is already time bomb ready to explode. The reason why I say that is kids not really getting they're not getting quality education, especially at public schools. And you know how some kids get picked on, a lot of kids get mistreated. So yeah, I just don't see that happening as far. It worked in the period of time when the community was more together, but that time is gone. It's not there no more, and I see it as a vehicle of abuse to once again pick up physically. And then you have some schools where they're trying to incorporate being able to carry and conceal your weapon, like teachers, which is obvious, something to think about when you have so many mass shootings at schools, and it seems like it's weekly, damn near daily now. So for the people who are able to homeschool and can afford that situation, this is probably now a great time to really consider it if you can do it, or figure out in your community if you have one person who has a teaching certificate and y'all can form like pods or any kind of group where you can homeschool other kids. It's is needed now more than ever. You know, because this spanking and carry to conceal thing at school is going it's just going to bring more violence. If a person chooses to send their child to school, if they allow this, good luck and be prepared for some BS. And not only that, man, you know, when you look at the, the school situation, I'm hearing more and more teachers, you know, leaving the field. And there's been a report, you can see it all over if you type it up about kids not being able to read. I mean, we're talking about high school students still on the first grade level, can't read. And you wonder how they even get to that position to get passed up and just passed along and not be able to have these basic skill sets to be able to read on a first grade level. It's just horrible when you're a high school student. And but what can you expect from the teachers when first of all, they severely underpaid, especially here in North Carolina. I want to say we like out of 50 states, maybe like 49th or something like that. So that's the one horrible thing about the public schools. The teachers are severely underpaid, severely. And then you're gonna try to force them to teach kids that don't care, distracted, and damn near had Chat GPT doing their work. You know what I'm saying? It's insane. And you put some reading material in front of them, and they just struggle to just get one or two syllable words out their mouth. They just struggle reading, struggle being able to write sentences. Don't know what a subject or a predicate is. Don't know the difference between a verb, adverb. They don't know the basic things like that you should have learned in second or third grade. Is and I want to say it's a hell of a lot more that's like that than that can read on a grade level. And then you got some private schools down here that's failing their students. I'm just gonna put it that way. Based off of the sources I know, they're telling me that it's like a look of horror in their eye, and you can hear it in their voice the disgust that the kids can't read at grade level in their middle school, right? They're like on the first grade level, and struggle with basic math. This is the future we talking about, and this is not in good hands. So, and it starts at home. The parents are overworked, probably um, broke. The homes are probably more likely broken. Single parent homes or parents that barely had the skill set themselves, and so it's like the blind leading the blind. So it's really a sad situation. But you do have some people who are really good teachers, but they just left the profession. So they'll have to figure out some creative way of creating pods at home, um, to where they can somehow get funded from the government, or even do it privately and get funded by the parents of other kids. They got to do something different because the old way is just ain't it's not working no more. The kids are basically they're failing and will continue to fail. And if the next in those next generations that we're supposed to rely upon to be able to keep our society going, then we're going to be in trouble. And it's going to be definitely doom and gloom because we can't. It's only so long. It's only so far we can take it, right? So yeah, just thought I would keep y'all up in the loop as far as that. And um, one other topic I want to talk about: the lighten up the load and the good old Super Bowl. Now this right here was funny when the news came out earlier about the special guest at halftime supposed to be Bad Bunny. I saw that. I was like, really? You can't really think of any songs that this guy. I'm pretty sure He's doing well on a global reach. But here in the states, and that's the All American football game. That's going to be the most viewed. Hey, people are cussing and fussing. Well, for me, I'm cool with it. I'm like, whatever. You know why? Because the phone, it's gonna be bidding wars for great DJs like myself. To entertain the people. You know, Instead of tuning in and watching Bad Bunny, was in a dress and whatever he's gonna be doing, a lot of people gonna be choosing an alternative way to spend their half times. I mean, when I party, I do Super Bowl parties at home, so I entertain my people anyway. But I don't know. I think I'm already starting to get some interest of doing some Super Bowl parties on a much bigger scale because of this. Instead of so people don't have to tune in and watch this foolishness that they're going to see. They get to have some quality entertainment with great DJs like myself. So DJs out there, hey, take advantage of this time because your phone's going to be burning up for the Super Bowl parties, and you need to go ahead and take advantage of it. This is a great time. So yeah, we appreciate that, Jay Z. We appreciate that. The DJs are going to eat very well during the Super Bowl. Yeah, because I already know I'm not gonna watch the halftime show, so I'm gonna be too busy rocking the crowd. But anyway, man, getting ready to roll up out of here. Don't want to take too much of your time. Just feel good to be back. And thought I would reach out to you guys and hey, let's keep this thing going. Let's get some interviews going, and let's get some live shows back on. And I need to get another co-host. So if you're interested, let me know. You know, especially a good female. I gotta have that feminine um perception. Gotta have that to balance things out. You know what I mean? You know, I love talking up here, but it's funner when I have that engagement. But anyway, you want to hop on, let me know. You already know how to reach me. Share it with your folks. Comment, subscribe. You know the whole spiel. But just feel good to be back, and we'll keep this bad boy going. Hope you're enjoying your evening and the rest of your week. Hey, I'll see you guys, and we'll talk to you guys next week because I know it's gonna be more drama to come.